So who do I have with me today now?
Hi there, it's Mike Knowles. We're here in Poplar Grove, which is next door to Avondale or Newport Landing. And we're standing on my property here at 558 Avondale Road in Avondale, Poplar Grove, next to the St. Croix River, which is this way. We're going to visit that in a few minutes. And just opposite the old stone house that was called the Henley Farm way back in the early 1800s. As a matter of fact, Judge Thomas Chandler Halliburton at one time owned the Henley Farm and did some plaster mining in the mines, the old plaster mines in behind the stone house. And over the years, the property changed hands a couple of times. He sold it at one point to a Sprott family, and then after that it went to a man by the name of Smoot, S-M-O-O-T, and Smoot is the one who had something to do with forming the Avondale Plaster Company, he and some other shareholders, and they built this little railway that we're going to view today. The railway came from in behind the stone house, crossed the Avondale Road, followed along here behind this house, along past my own property, and curved along towards the St. Croix River, which is about a kilometer towards Windsor. As a matter of fact, if we crossed the St. Croix River right there, we'd be in Windsor.
Yeah. So this is early railroad, right? Like we're talking
in the 1800s.
Yeah.
The quarry, the mining and so on was going on in the early 1800s, but this railway here didn't get built until probably around 1880.
And one thing I got to say is I walked the railroad with Alan Palmer. This is a totally different railroad, still here out in Avondale, but a total different railroad.
This one is the one that Alan Palmer was referring to is further back in the woods here, and it was quite a bit bigger quarry.
Yeah.
And that railway went to the Avon River, to the King's Wharf.
Yeah.
And this one goes to the St. Croix River, and it was a little tram railway they called it, and the plaster cars were hauled by horses.
Yeah. Yeah.
So anyway, we're going to visit a couple of looks at the railway along our way to the river. Yeah. And then we're going to look at the remains of an old wharf on the St. Croix River.
So this railroad, it was steel rails, right?
Yes.
But no engine. They just use horses to pull the railroad cars.
That's right.
That's how it worked.
That's right. This is just a little narrow gauge railway. I can show you a piece of the rail.
Yeah, I want to see. I want to see that. I'll take a picture of that.
Okay, good.
And
these cars were hauled by horses. Now, how many cars were lined up? I have no idea, but I would guess a few. Yeah. And then they'd go to the St. Croix River, where this old wharf, the remains of this old wharf is. Yeah. And the plaster was loaded on barges to be shipped away to wherever it was going. A lot of it went to the eastern United States and so on. Yeah. But it was used for two purposes: for agricultural help of the land to make the soil less acidic, and also in later years for construction purposes. Yeah. Yeah. So this railroad, you already took me, along part of it. We're going to work our way out to the St. Croix River now, but this basically it looks like a railroad, right? We've got the banks up both sides. It's a mound.
It's perfect flat all the way along. Mm-hmm. I can see it with my eye, but I know the camera won't pick up. Right. With a bridge going across the creeks, and it's pretty neat. But I'll take still pictures, and we'll put still pictures in. As we go along. All right, good. So, and it's good to remember too that this was all done with handwork. Yeah, everything done by hand. Everything. But they said gunpowder. They used gunpowder. They blew up to blast the rock in the first place. Yes. Yeah. Right on. Yeah. Right on. So much history. Okay. Really. Good. Let's go have a look. Okay, let's go. How's that